AMP value equivalent to $0.7 a coin. The present exchanged cost range 69.71. The earlier day close 5.71. The change was 0.141%. Opposite rate, US to AMP. AMP estimate for August 2024. First and foremost cost at $0.58. Exorbitant costs $0.72, while low costs from $5.8. The found the middle value of cost $0.64. AMP cost estimate toward the month's ends $0.67. Change for August 15.5%. AMP cost expectation for September 2024. First and foremost cost at $0.67. Exorbitant costs D3, while low costs $3.67. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 4.74. AMP cost conjecture toward the month's ends in a 7.8. Change for September 16.4%. AMP conjecture for October 2024. At the outset cost at $0.78. Excessive costs 2.85, while low cost on 0.73. The arrived at the midpoint of costs by 7.9. AMP cost conjecture toward the month's ends by 7.9. Change for October 1.3%. AMP cost expectation for November 2024. At the outset cost at $0.79. Excessive costs 9.8, while low costs 7.9. The found the middle value of cost on 8.7. AMP cost gauge toward the month's ends 1.92. Change for November 16.5%. AMP gauge for December 2024. To start with cost at $0.92. Exorbitant costs N114, while low costs been 9.2. The found the middle value of costs 1.01. AMP cost gauge toward the month's ends 1.7. Change for December 16%. AMP cost expectation for January 2025. To start with cost at $0.17. Exorbitant cost 0.114, while low costs shrill. The found the middle value of cost 0.107. AMP cost estimate toward the month's ends 0.7. Change for January 0%. AMP estimate for February 2025. First and foremost cost at $0.7. Exorbitant cost 0.119, while low cost 0.13. The found the middle value of cost 0.110. AMP cost estimate toward the month's ends N111. Change for February 3.7%. AMP cost expectation for WARC 2025. First and foremost cost at $0.111. Excessive costs 0.122, while low costs 1.06. The arrived at the midpoint of costs 0.113. AMP cost figure toward the month's end 0.114. Change for spring 2.7%. AMP gauge for April 2025. In the first place cost at $0.114. Exorbitant costs 0.135, while low costs 0.114. The found the middle value of cost 0.122. AMP cost gauge toward the month's end 0.126. Change for April 10.5%. AMP cost expectation for May 2025. To start with cost at $0.126. Exorbitant costs 0.140, while low costs 0.122. The found the middle value of costs 1.30. AMP cost gauge toward the month's end 0.131. Change for May 4%. AMP conjecture for June 2025. At the outset cost at $0.131. Excessive cost 0.146, while low cost 0.126. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 0.135. AMP cost conjecture toward the month's end 0.136. Change for June 3.8%. AMP cost expectation for July 2025. Initially cost at $0.136. Excessive costs 1.48, while low costs 0.128. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 0.138. AMP cost figure toward the month's end 0.138. Change for July 1.5%. AMP figure for August 2025. Initially cost at $0.138. Excessive cost 0.154, while low cost 0.134. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 0.143. AMP cost conjecture toward the month's end 0.144. Change for August 4.3%. AMP cost expectation for September 2025. At the outset cost at $0.144. Excessive cost 0.179, while low cost 0.144. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 0.159. AMP cost conjecture toward the month's end 0.167. Change for September 16%. AMP conjecture for October 2025. Before all else cost at $0.167. Excessive costs 2.8, while low costs 0.167. The arrived at the midpoint of costs 0.184. AMP cost figure toward the month's end 0.194. change for October 16.2%. AMP cost expectation for November 2025. Before all else cost at $0.194. Excessive cost $0.94, while low cost $0.157. The arrived at the midpoint of cost $0.179. AMP cost figure toward the month's end $0.169. Change for November 12.9%. AMP estimate for December 2025. First and foremost cost at $0.169. Exorbitant cost $0.169, while low costs $0.132. Found the middle value of cost $0.153. AMP cost estimate toward the month's end $0.142. Change for December 16%. AMP cost expectation for January 2026. In the first place cost at $0.142. Exorbitant costs $0.151, while low costs $0.131. Found the middle value of cost $0.141. AMP cost conjecture toward the month's end $0.141. Change for January's on 7%. AMP conjecture for February 2026. Before all else cost at $0.141. Excessive cost $0.141, while low cost $0.110. The arrived at the midpoint of cost $0.128. AMP cost conjecture toward the month's end $0.118. Change for February 16.3%. AMP cost expectation for WARC 2026. Before all else cost at $0.118. Exorbitant costs $0.118, while low costs $0.92. Found the middle value of cost in -7. AMP cost estimate toward the month's end $0.99. Change for spring 16.1%. As to AMP expectation for May 2024. First and foremost cost at 121.95 coins. Exorbitant cost 153.85, while low 108.70. Found the middle value of cost 131.84. The oyster AMP estimate toward the month's end 142.86. Change for May 17.1%. Dollar to AMP figure for June 2024. Before all else cost at 142.86 coins. Excessive cost 169.49, while low 125 as in. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 145.57. The oyster AMP figure toward the month's end 144.93. Change for June 4%. As to AMP expectation for July 2024. First and foremost cost at 144.93 coins. Exorbitant cost 185.19, while low 144.93. Found the middle value of cost 161.87. The oyster AMP estimate toward the month's end 172.41. Change for July 19%. Dollar to AMP estimate for August 2024. First and foremost cost at 172.41 coins. Exorbitant cost 172.41. While low 138.89. Found the middle value of cost 158.24. The oyster AMP estimate toward the month's end 149.25. Change for August 13.4%.